Hello everyone, my name is Rich Keener. I'm the Village Manager for the Village of Villa Park. It's my honor. And today's another one of our segments where I'll be discussing the upcoming Committee of the Whole and formal board agenda. So today we're going to be discussing the Committee of the Whole and formal board agenda for Monday, July 24th. So let's start. So at the beginning, I always mention that the Committee of the Whole starts at 7:30 and the formal board meeting starts directly after the Committee of the Whole. So number one for the Committee of the Whole agenda for Monday, July 24th is call to order. It's the roll call. Number two is the Pledge of Allegiance. Number three is amendments of the agenda. And folks, that's the appropriate time for the President or Board of Trustees to make amendments to the Committee of the Whole agenda. Number four is a Lions Check presentation. So what that encompasses is that the Lions Club helped during Summerfest, and the village has agreed to split the beer tent sale proceeds with them, similarly as to what we've done in the past for Lions and the Oktoberfest. So moving on for the Committee of the Whole is number five. It's going to be the appointments and reappointments to boards and commissions. So A is appointments to the Board of Fire and Police Commission. The first appointment's going to be Glenn Nystrom. The second is going to be Ray Rupsearch, and both of those are appointments, not reappointments, which will be through this year through 2020. B is Sugar Creek Golf Course. The appointment is Joseph Colon, and that'll be from this year to 2020 as well. C, Senior Concerns Commission. There'll be three reappointments and one appointment. So the first is Ruby Burns, which is a reappointment. Second, Nadia Hedduck, which is a reappointment. Third, Christine Painter is a reappointment. And Irene Kaylor is the fourth, and that is an appointment. And D is a motion to consent to the appointments to the indicated boards and commissions. So folks, we're still looking for volunteers on numerous other commissions. So if you are interested, if you go to our website, there is an application to fill out, and you can return it to Village Hall here, and we'll certainly consider it and get back to you. And there's plenty of commissions to choose from, and the ones I mentioned just now are just a few. So moving on to the Committee of the Whole for Monday night is number 6, to consider a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving an intergovernmental agreement between the Village of Villa Park and the County of DuPage, and on behalf of the Emergency Telephone System Board of DuPage County to implement the DuPage Justice Information System, also known as DUJIS. So on July 11, 2016, the board voted to support the purchase of the Records Management System, and we've called it the RMS, Records Management System. The DuPage County Emergency Telephone System Board has purchased and implemented an integrated justice system known as DUJIS, which allows participating police and fire departments to exchange information with and between the courts and correctional facilities. The next phase of the implementation is the approval of the IGA for the operation and maintenance of the system. So folks, near 2005, DuPage County implemented the records management system that we're using currently. And obviously we're going midway through 2017, so the system is old, it's antiquated, and we're having a very difficult time communicating with that system through our squad cars. And so what we're doing is we're participating in the purchase with many other municipalities and boards, including the Sheriff's Department and the Telephone Board, to all use the same records management system. And the system will be from the time of the stop through resolution in the court system, and then all the participating communities and boards can share information between each other through the records management system. And so the cost will be borne through all the participating agencies, and each agency, if you will have various licenses for each of the users. And so that is that particular item, folks. So moving on to number 7 is to consider a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing a contract for village building cleaning services with Service Master Cleaning Solutions in an amount not to exceed $74,532. Annually, the village contracts with a cleaning service to clean Village Hall, the Police Department, Public Works, Economic and Community Development, and the Metro Station. Staff recommends contracting services with Service Master for a 1-year contract to clean the aforementioned buildings in addition to the Parks Department offices in the amount of $6,211 per month or $74,532 annually. Funds have been budgeted and split between the Parks, Community and Economic Development Funds, Corporate and Metro Division accounts in the amount of $57,100. The remaining balance of $17,432 for the contract would be taken from the General Fund Surplus account. And folks, so in other words, our current cleaning contract has expired. We've been on a month-to-month basis. And folks, quite honestly, we'd like to raise the bar for the cleaning of the village buildings, and we would like to switch firms to a nationally recognized firm, Service Master. This happens to be a franchise, but we've interviewed 4 different cleaning companies. I have interviewed 2, and this is the cleaning company, Service Master, that the village staff would like to go forward with to clean our buildings. And the $17,432 above what is budgeted now would, as I mentioned, come from the corporate fund surplus account. And folks, we have this year's budget for the fiscal year 2017-2018. The revenues are estimated very conservatively, and we, I believe, will come in under budget on expenses, so I think we can make that up and come in, obviously, for a balanced budget as we do every year. So moving on to number 8, for the Committee of the Whole for Monday night, July 24th, is to consider an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, amending the Villa Park Municipal Code relating to regular meetings of the Board of Trustees. It is the recommendation of the village attorney that the order of business for regular meetings of the Board of Trustees be updated to reflect more current municipal practices. Included within this proposal is a change to the meeting start time from 7:30 p.m. to 7 p.m., as well as the following standing order of business. So folks, what I'm going to describe to you is after this proposal is enacted, which we believe will be the second meeting in August, the meeting times for the starting time for the agenda will be 7 o'clock. And when I read this to you, we're going to be eliminating the Committee of the Whole and just making one agenda where it flows. And so let me kind of go through it and explain it. So this would be the new meeting agenda effective the second meeting in August if it's approved. So number 1 would be the call to order, the roll call. Number 2 would be the Pledge of Allegiance. Number 3, public comments on agenda items. Number 4, amendments to the agenda. Number 5 would be proclamations. Number 6 would be the consent agenda. A would be the minutes. B would be the bill listings. Number 7, first reading on ordinances to be codified. This would be an introduction to the topic. It would be no vote. And when I say codified, that means it's an ordinance proposing a change to municipal code. Number 8 would be a second reading on ordinances to be codified, which means the second reading would be from a prior meeting carried over to this particular meeting. Number 9 would be ordinances, resolutions, and motions that would be a first and final reading. And so we would introduce them, discuss them, take a vote, and they would be done. Number 10 would be public comments on non-agenda items. Number 11 would be the village clerk's report. Number 12, village trustees report. Number 13, village president's report. Number 14, the village manager's report. Number 15, executive session if necessary. And then 16 would be adjournment. And so, folks, that is a very streamlined meeting agenda. And so, again, this is a proposal. And so if it's approved, we believe that it will be enacted the second meeting in August. And then at that time, we would start at 7 o'clock and not 7:30. And so number 9 for the Committee of the Whole meeting on Monday, July 24th, is to convene to the formal agenda. So folks, we've got kind of a light agenda for Monday night. A couple of interesting things. So let's start the formal agenda now. So the formal agenda for Monday, July 24th is as follows. So number 1 is public comments on agenda items. Number 2 is amendments of the agenda. And folks, that's the appropriate time for the President or Board of Trustees to modify the formal agenda. Number 3 is the consent agenda. So folks, for Monday night, we have items A through E for the consent agenda. So A would be bill listing for the weeks of July 10 and July 17, 2017 for a total amount of $307,285.01. B, minutes from the Village Committee of the Whole meeting for July 10, 2017. C, minutes from the Village Formal Board meeting for July 10, 2017. D, resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving an intergovernmental agreement between the Village of Villa Park and the County of DuPage, and on behalf of the Emergency Telephone System Board of DuPage County to implement the DuPage Justice Information System, also known as DUJIS. So on July 11, 2016, the board voted to support the purchase of the Records Management System. The DuPage County Emergency Telephone System Board has purchased and implemented an integrated justice system known as DUJIS, which allows participating police and fire departments to exchange information with and between the county's court and correctional entities. The next phase of implementation is the approval of the IGA for the operation and maintenance of the system. So moving on to E for the consent agenda is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing a contract for village building cleaning services with Service Master Cleaning Solutions in an amount not to exceed $74,532. Annually, the village contracts with the cleaning service to clean Village Hall, the Police Department, Public Works, Economic and Community Development, and the Metro Station. Staff recommends contracting services with Service Master for 1 year to clean the aforementioned buildings, in addition to the Parks Department offices, in the amount of $6,211 per month, or $74,532 annually. Funds have been budgeted and split between the Parks, Community and Economic Development, Corporate, and Metro Division accounts, respectively, in the amount of $57,100. The remaining $17,432 for the contract would be taken from the general fund surplus account. And folks, we've written it this way because we're already into the fiscal year 2017-2018 budget, which started May 1st. So we're kind of, on this particular item, we're going to go over $17,432. And we'll be proposing to take that from the corporate general fund surplus, which currently we have about 152 days of corporate fund surplus on hand. And as I mentioned during the Committee of the Whole discussion, our revenue estimates are very conservative, and our expenditures, we will make sure that we come in on budget, balanced budget. So moving on to number 4 and leaving the consent agenda for Monday night is the first reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, amending the Villa Park Municipal Code relating to regular meetings of the Board of Trustees. So it is the recommendation of the village attorney that the order of business for regular meetings of the Board of Trustees be updated to reflect more current municipal practices. Included within this proposal is a change to the meeting start time from 7:30 p.m. to 7 p.m., as well as the following standing order of business. So I'm just going to kind of read them again. So again, as I mentioned during the Committee of the Whole, if this is approved and enacted, I anticipate this will be enacted the second meeting of August, and the start time will then be 7 o'clock, and there will be elimination of the Committee of the Whole. So we'll just have the formal agenda, and it'll start off just as I will read to you. So number 1 would be call to order, the roll call. Number 2 would be the Pledge of Allegiance. Number 3 would be public comments on agenda items. Number 4 would be amendments to the agenda. 5, proclamations. 6 would be the consent agenda. And under the consent agenda, we would have A, the minutes, and then B, the bill listings. Moving on to 7, be the first reading on ordinances to be codified. This would be an introduction only, no vote. And by codified, again, I mean these would be changes proposed to the municipal code. Number 8 would be second reading on ordinances to be codified. So the second reading would be from a prior meeting, and that would be the second reading would be the final reading, in which we require a vote on that particular reading. Number 9 would be ordinances, resolutions, and motions. And folks, that would be a first and final reading, and then those would be done. And that's sort of similar to what we do now. We have the Committee of the Whole, then they carry over to the consent agenda, and then boom, we take a motion and a second, and those are dealt with. So we're just streamlining the agenda process into one agenda, really. And so number 10 would be public comments on non-agenda items. Number 11 would be the village clerk's report. Number 12, village trustees report. Number 13, village president's report. Number 14 would be the village manager's report. Number 15 is the executive session if necessary. And then number 16 would be adjournment of that meeting for that evening. So again, it streamlines it. It's very concise and to the point, has a very good flow to it. And I believe the village president of Bolthuis has even moved the public comments on non-agenda items before all of our reports, so the citizens can make their comments on non-agenda items, and then after that, staff can answer all the concerns, and along with the trustees and myself and the village president. So it has a really good flow to it. Moving on to number 5 for the formal agenda for Monday night, July 24th, is public comments on non-agenda items. And folks, as I always say, that's the time during the meeting for folks that are in the audience to come to the podium and be recognized by President Bolthuis and comment on items that are not on the agenda. Number 6 is the village clerk's report. Number 7 is the village trustees report for the evening. Number 8 is the village president's report for the evening. Number 9 is my report for the evening, village managers. Number 10 is the village attorney's report. Number 11 is the consider the executive closed session, and we will consider that evening. So under 11 is A, 5 ILCS 120-2 C1, personnel matters. B, 5 ILCS 120-2 C5, purchase or lease of property. C, 5 ILCS 120-2 C6, sale or lease of property. D, 5 ILCS 120-2 C11, pending litigation. E, 5 ILCS 120-2 C21, discussion of closed session minutes. So folks, we'll go into executive closed session if it's approved that evening, and then when we come out, there will be no action needed for the items discussed in executive closed session. So number 12 for the formal agenda for Monday night, July 24th, is adjournment. So folks, that's it for the Committee of the Whole and formal board meeting for Monday night, July 24th. Got a couple of great items, some great changes being proposed So please, if you have some time, tune in, come to the meeting. And as I always say, we've got some great weather happening right now, a little rain happening next couple of days. I hope you're using the Prairie Path, and I hope you've been attending the car shows. We're going to move those car shows now closer to Ardmore and Park and Central. And we're very excited to move it to that location and use some parking spaces. A lot of traffic on Ardmore. There's some beautiful cars. And a lot of traffic on the Illinois Prairie Path, Great Western, if you haven't seen it lately. So folks, we have a number of things coming up through the community. We still have, during the month of July, the Kiwanis concerts on Wednesday night. We did have a rain out of the Stingrays. That concert has been moved to August 8th, I believe. It's a Tuesday night. It's 6:30. And that is a well thought of concert with the Stingrays. They have a great following. And then during the month of August, we'll have our concerts at the depot at Cortese Veterans Memorial Park on Thursday. So we have 5 concerts on Thursday evenings. So we have a lot of things going on. The VFW of Villa Park still has Friday night fish fries. Thursday nights they have hamburgers and cheeseburgers. So just tons of things to do. But that's all I'm going to say for this session. Again, my name is Rich Keener. It's my honor to be your village manager for the Village of Villa Park. Take care and hope to see you soon.